Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we've entered Bizarro World where Dark, playing as the Tatars in yellow, gets ready to take on the Viper, playing as the Armenians in blue. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings and try to go up to Feudal Age as fast as possible. Look at Bessie over here with a big old bell on her scarf. I didn't realize cows wore scarves. But in any event, as they try to rush up to Feudal Age, let's take a look at the Civ matchup we will be watching today. The Tatars are a Civ that does whatever it can to push its players towards mounted units. Their cav archers come with extra line of sights. They get Parthian tactics and thumb ring for free. Some of their units can be upgraded to get extra armor, and their first unique unit is the Keshik, a medium cavalry unit that actually generates gold every time it pokes and prods at an enemy opponent, which does come in very, very handy in the late game when gold, this stuff, starts getting more and more scarce. Now, once the battle begins, once the battle is commenced, or rather has commenced, it's very important for the Tatars to take the high ground. I'm looking at the map, not a lot of high ground on this map, because instead of the usual 25% extra bonus damage, they do 50% extra damage. Now, this becomes even more important in the later stages of the game once Trebs are out, because the Tatars can upgrade their Trebs to have a massive +2 range, which means with siege engineers, oh no, Dark loses control of a deer. Man, these deer are super stubborn. We've seen this in a lot of games recently. Not so with other animals of this nature, but deer, I don't know, maybe they baked in some kind of RNG that makes them super stubborn. But in any event, a fully upgraded Tatar Treb with Timorid Siegecraft with Siege Engineers, 19 tile range. Now for the Tatars to feed their big, hungry cavalry-based population, their herdables do get 50% more food, and starting in Castle Age, every time they build a new town center, it spawns 2 free sheep. And we saw the other day, even though you start with cows, geese, whatever, you still just get 2 free sheep whenever you build a new town center. Oh, we're going to discuss this in a minute. The Viper here already moving out into the center of the map. And we'll all, by the way, take a look at the map once we finish taking a look at the Armenians and infantry civilization with a few cool backup units. To start with, all Armenian infantry come with extra line of sight and are available in age earlier once you hit feudal, which means they do have access to long swordsmen and pikemen in Feudal Age and two-handed swordsmen, champions, and halberdiers in Castle Age, which sounds pretty damn bonkers. Now, those same infantry units, with the exception of their spearman line units, can be upgraded to get a massive +30 HP boost. Their first unique unit, the warrior priest, does blur the line between man of war and man of peace, being an infantry unit that can actually heal friendly units and gather relics. Now, to support their slower moving infantry unit on the field of battle, Armenians can field a second unique unit, one that so far has proven to be more problematic than even the ballista elephant. I am, of course, referring to the composite bowman. This is a foot archer whose attack ignores all land units' armor, with the exception of siege units. Now, for the Armenians to get their military-industrial complex up and running as fast as possible, their first fortified church does come with a free relic. Their mule carts are 25% cheaper, and all mule cart technologies are 25% more effective, which means they do get more productive miners and lumberjacks compared to ye old standard villagers. Now, that is the matchup we'll be watching today. We are, if you haven't noticed at the bottom of the screen, not exactly on Arabia. We've teleported to Valley, which usually when you see a player like the Mongols, possibly the Goths on a map like this, you say, okay, you know who's winning this match. But the new mountain civilizations with the mule cart, I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is the absolute craziness that you can accomplish here as the Armenians and even as the Georgians, because you've got essentially a depot that moves around and you can drop off your hunted food. Now, remember, this does not apply to things like berries or farms. It only, in terms of food, applies to hunted. I also don't think it applies to shorefish, although I'm not 100% sure about that. If I was a gambling man, which I have been known to dabble in the world's risky, oldest, let's call it second oldest profession, gambling addict, I would say that they cannot take shorefish, but I believe for now all we know is that the huntables are gathered. I mean, for all I know at the moment is that the huntables do go to the donkey cart. The Viper here is building a barracks. I wonder if he expects some kind of aggression out of his opponent, who has already got 2 militias out here, and he must suspect that with the mule cart, the Viper is probably somewhere in the center. Let's keep an eye on his vision. Has not scouted the east bank of the river just yet, and now discovers the mule cart as it turns around, but Spearman is already out, a second Spearman being trained, and Feudal Age has been hit for our Armenian, which means he can technically get pikemen out right now if he wanted to. He doesn't have the resources for it, but if he wanted to, he can get pikemen. Now, the mule cart does come with a decent amount of 1 armor and 2 armor, which means it can take a beating from these militiamen, rather. And look at this, 9 minutes into the game. What a fun map. We already have a bit of a scuffle with not 2 militias, but 4 of them. And in 37 seconds, we are going to see these guys turn into men-at-arms. At which point, the spearmen might want to turn into pikemen. Scuffle in the center here. Villagers calmly joining in on the fight, or continuing to gather food. We've got the scout here out for the Viper as well, helping to clean this up, but has already lost one of his spearmen. Loses a second spearman, but does manage to get... There he is, a man-at-arms who lies face down in the sand as his teammates abscond. Oh, now he's starting to lame the deer. He says, if I can't have them, no one can. Jealous lover takes out the deer so that the Viper has fewer sources of food. But again, this thing comes with wheels. It's got a mule, a donkey pulling it, which means it can just pivot south and get more and more of these deer over here. Fantastic use of the mule cart so far. I mean, let's be honest, this map kind of is geared towards this kind of usage of the mule cart. Usually you have to rely on scouts, usually you have to rely on a mill to get the food sources in the center of the map. If you even go for those food sources, it's possible to just ignore them, but you don't really start with a lot of sources of food around your main base here. It's mostly all in the center. Speaking of, let's take a look once the players disengage, if they do disengage, where their actual bases are located on the minimap and where their resources are. For now, these men-at-arms, I'm surprised the Viper's not upgrading these to pikemen, going for quantity over quality with a spearman thrown in. And these villagers, I mean, they're just free to keep on gathering meat. A bunch of Joe Rogans out on the hunt, getting their elk meat or whatever the hell Joe Rogan eats. I forget what he always talks about in his podcast. I think it's elk. 2 men-at-arms chasing a spearman, very weak. He's going to lead them to the edge of the world if he can. Distract 2 units with 1 that's about to die. I think Dark realizes exactly what's going on and turns back around with those units. Army counts 6 to 7. Town watch for our Tatar, who was housed there for a second. Not something we generally see at the 13-minute mark of the game. So the Viper forcing out a bit of a change of standard strategy from his opponent, whose army in the center here, I mean, is getting reinforced, but reinforced 1 unit at a time, and Viper has created infrastructure, which means he's got defender's advantage. More and more deer being harvested. The Viper's got 19 villagers on food. Not a single villager on gold, not a single villager on stone. They are all gathering food. 20 now, and he pivots to skirmishers. I mean, this is just fantastic. How many times have I said this is fantastic? I love this. I love this kind of off the beaten path map. I would have loved to see, instead of a Tatar, maybe a Mongol, like I said, or a Goth. Any civilization really who has a hunting related bonus. That being said, this is absolutely super fun. I mean, when's the last time at the 15-minute mark of a game on a what essentially is an open map have we seen almost 30 kills so far? Viper's villagers now joining in on the fight. They are carrying 103 food. Might want to drop that off before you engage into battle. God forbid you lose one of these villagers. You are going to lose a lot of food. And look at that. Look at that. 103 food becomes 77. He lost 26 food. No, that doesn't make any sense. No, yeah, no, it does make sense. Yeah. He lost 26 food using that villager. So the Viper, a little bit of a clicking error here. Might lose even more. Nope, never mind. More reinforcements from our Tatar. Both players significantly invested into some baller feudal age fighting over here. And now they turn around carrying those heavy stakes of theirs, heading over to the mule cart. a quarter of their food already gone. The deer has been decomposing so much that it decomposed completely. What's the word that Age of Empires players use? Decay, not decomposed. I remember when I was first starting to cast, I was using words like supply blocked, and people were saying, what the hell are you talking about? It's not supply blocked, it's housed. And since then I have tried to use the lingo, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Man, I really wanted to pivot to look at where the bases are. I mean, let's take a very quick look. Oh my goodness, primary stone and gold, nice and safe in the back for our Tatar. Additional resources in the front. I don't expect skirmisher on skirmisher to be very quick deaths here. These are not exactly quick killing units with their 3-second delay between attack. For the Viper, primary gold in the back. Where's his primary stone? Off to the side, it looks like. And another one in a bit of a forward position on a very annoying hill. How the hell do you even mine this? I guess a camp over here to the left of it. Mule cart. I will yet again, for the umpteenth time, voice my disappointment that the mule cart does not come with a big old donkey bray. Instead, it's just the sound of a horse winning. And here we go. This is a bit of a more standard play out of our Tatar, who is again housed. I mean, he's housed with a population ahead of his opponent. He's getting economic upgrades. He's getting upgrades for his infantry. I mean, you've got 4 men-at-arms. I guess maybe he's expecting a whole infantry push out of the Viper? But, I mean, the Tatars to get scale mail armor? Okay, interesting. Like I always say, this is exactly why I do not predict anything here. I mean, take a look at the Tatars upgrades. Notice there's a gap here at the top left of your screen, which means that the developers basically did not want the Tatars to go infantry. And that's the one upgrade we almost never see on their infantry, and our man-at-arms have it now. I guess maybe he figured, you know, it's a bit of food. It's not going to really cost me too much. I already have 500 food, and the Viper looks like he is investing in military as well, so his food count can't be that much better or worse than mine. And our Tatar already has 343 gold. He's got 7 villagers on gold. The Viper just now looks like starting to get a bit of gold himself. Men-at-arms continue to chase skirmishers, who I guess... Well, there you go. I guess the +1 armor does help against these, but their minimum range is really more what's going to kill them as opposed to the armor on the men-at-arms. More pushing through the center, more deer being harvested. The deer population, now there's 2. Now there's 3 carts over here. What the heck is going on? There's 3 carts. 3 donkey carts. How is this guy still alive? Oh, the deer blocked him. What a missed opportunity there for the Viper to just quickly get a volley off when he saw that this man-at-arms was stuck behind a bunch of deer. But neither here nor there, does manage to finally get the last infantryman here to the north, whereas to the center... Got a man-at-arms whacking away at a house. He is going to enter the kill zone of a town center. Of course, the Viper realizes it immediately. Town center fires 1, 2, 3, and he is done. But look at the Viper. He's lost control of the center position here. Now he's going up to castle, starting to waste a bit of food, pumping out these scout units. So we've got our mounted civilization going infantry. We've got our infantry civilization going mounted. And there are people that still critique why I don't try to call games. Another mill for our Tatar. I mean, he's got 22 villagers on wood. Not like he's going to run out of wood anytime soon. Man, I have not even had a chance to look at their bases to see what the heck these players are building. There's been just so much action. Before we're even in castle, before a single player, the closest player is a minute away, we've already got 82 kills. Wow. I wonder if this was all worth it for our Tatar. This is a lot of food, a lot of gold, a lot of everything invested wood to get control of the center. And in the end of the day, their kill count isn't that far off. I don't really know who came out ahead. He didn't get a mule cart. At least I didn't see him getting a mule cart. They were both killing each other's units. So both players with bloody noses. It is our Armenian who hits Castle Age first, which means we might get to see... Okay, I was going to say champions. We're going to get to see knights. Viper tries to Viper his opponent out in whatever it is. Doesn't manage to get it. Oh, okay. Our Tatar a little bit too quick with these units. That being said, the Viper is gathering of food, continues unabated. Now he's reached the west bank of the river here. So we'll see what he decides to do. Another card here to help out with the stone. Man, these villagers, you see your army dying. Might want to get the hell out of here, but I guess he figures with the night coming, the skirmishers are no longer a threat. And the men-at-arms, I mean, there's 3 of them. What's their HP? They surround the knight. 1 will go down. A second goes down. Okay, so even with the massive +1/+1 armor, these 3 men-at-arms have nowhere to go but straight down into the ground. But here come the Step Lancers. We're going full on, it looks like. 5 of them against 3 knights. Does the Viper think he's playing the Georgians? Or maybe the new Persians? They get 5 gold every time they kill a military unit with their cavalry. The very weak knight. Why is he running away? Oh, good. I think these guys run much faster than the knight. Yeah, a full 0.1 tile faster. Poke off at the knight, it dies. Viper's got to be careful here. Doesn't want to blow too many resources on units that are not his strong suit. Especially not when they're missing their last armor upgrade. By the way, take a look. Here's the fortified church. Comes with a relic automatically, which means the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the map mean a total of 6. Oh, he's garrisoned villagers. Not something we've seen yet. So, if you're not familiar with what this structure is, the fortified church, every relic that's in here adds an arrow. And then villagers garrisoned inside add as many arrows as they usually do to a town center. Will he get the convert? Will he get the convert? Nope, he gets poked to death is what he gets. And oh, the mule cart even getting into here. I don't think the mule cart adds any arrows because I don't think it's technically a unit. Okay, okay, our Tatar here is 11 kills ahead. Both players upgrading the efficiency of their villagers, but our Armenian already has wheelbarrow, which our Tatar is just getting now. Ooh, villager goes down. No more army here in the center to defend against this, which means that this mule cart needs to get the hell into this town center. Oh my god, look at that Viper killing this deer before he garrisons, thinking that maybe his opponent is going to lame it. No, the opponent was very much focused on killing that one last villager there as she lies dead on the ground. Another fortified church for our Armenian, who is going 3 monks. No warrior priest just yet, but does manage to get a convert on a Step Lancer, even if he loses this monk, which he will. Not a terrible trade-off. Step Lancer is not the cheapest of units. Viper is safe at home. A converted Step Lancer sent. Here are the 2 sheep that the Tatars get when they build a new town center. More and more Step Lancers. There's a lot of Step Lancers everywhere. How many? 12 Step Lancers. Again, Dark is housed. Again, he's stuck, unable to produce. He's got 2 villagers here. Looks like he killed the deer again to, I guess, to stop his opponent from laming. Plus, once this town center builds, 51 food will get dropped off, which means an extra villager for him. These mule carts are just so hard to kill. Holy shit, even with the Step Lancer. What's the attack now? A 10. Wow, they're just tanky units. Although I've asked this before, is it technically a unit? Oh my goodness, look at the Viper here. An amphibious landing on the west bank of the river. He's got a fortified church. He's building a market. He's got a town center up. What the hell killed that Step Lancer? Oh my god, look at the fortified church. Maybe it was that. 2 kills on the fortified church. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you thought the fortified church was a silly building, it is not. It looks like it could have potentially gotten even another kill here. The Viper's fortified church is putting in the work, but oh man, I'm glad I said amphibious landing. He loses a monk again because there's now a big fat castle being dropped right in front of the Tatar base. Dark has to get these villagers the hell out of here. Oh, the Viper forgot that these guys have 1 range. Builds the palisade wall. Is this open? What is going on here? Is this a tile? There must be some kind of yeah, it's an elevation issue. So no, that is not open. Completes the palisade just in time to delete it. But Dark says, you know what? Have your castle. I don't really see you doing any damage here. There's a barracks that I'm not using. There's a few houses that I can replace. I'm just going to go and counterattack, and I'm going to go straight for your economy and one-shot your villagers, and one-shot the villagers they do. Holy moly, 3 die before this monk can even put his Cossack on and head over to help out. But, oh, the composite bowmen are out. The composite bowmen, but there are steppe lancers. If these were Mongol steppe lancers, I would have a lot more faith in them. 80 HP is a lot, but not all that much. We have seen this composite bowman unit just absolutely wreck so many different army compositions. Okay. Does the Viper see this with his mule cart? Yes, he does. Yeah, at least he sees it now. Where are they going? So he is continuing to attack villagers. I wonder how many monks have died here for our Armenian. 2 more. They do get a conversion. One of them does manage to garrison inside. 1 does die. So 2 monks for a steppe lancer. Meh. Not a terrible trade. Oh, look at this. Look at this. The Viper distracting to the north as he drops another castle inside the guts of our Tatar base. Our Tatar deletes his own palisade gate. Not too sure why. Composite bowman, what are the upgrades? +2 attack and range. We're going to see an armor upgrade very, very shortly. And where the hell are you? Why are you all the way over here? Steppe Lancer is trying to stop this castle from going up, but it is at 94%. No matter how many shots it takes from this mangonel, he's going to get it. Yes, he is. The Viper sees it, gets it, says, forget your Steppe Lancers. I can take care of those with my composite bowman. Your mangonel is more of a pain in the ass. Our Tatar rebuilds it. He needs onagers. I am 100% convinced that the only unit that can take these guys on is twofold. Either a unit with a massive amount of HP, so we're talking elephants, we're talking paladins, we're talking any kind of cavalry unit that comes with more than 130, 140 HP, in my opinion, or something that outranges them, which is going to be problematic because fully upgrade, these guys have 7 range, which is not terrible. It's not terrible. Now, these mangonel onagers with siege engineers should be able to do just that. We'll see if our Tatar invests. So far, he's just building 1 mangonel. His counter castle is up and running. Both players' scores very similar. Viper is down 24 villagers, but he's got this incredibly annoying unit, and he's going up to Imperial Age. I mean, look at this. How? Oh my god. This is so annoying. So, for example, I think longbows would do a good job against these guys. I think any kind of Briton archers would do a good job. But man, does this unit... I think it's, like I said, replacing the ballista elephant as the most annoying unit in the game to go up against. Our Tatar is going up to Imperial as well. He is only 40 or so seconds behind his opponent. He is going to lose a town center here, which is not bad. It means he's going to have to rebuild one and get a couple of free sheep. And look at this. He's trying to stop these composite bowmen from entering the back portion of his base, because if they enter here, oh, it's GG within a second. Split them up, does the Viper. Splits them up again. 2 shitty volleys, a 3rd shitty volley. Composite bowmen do not ignore the armor of siege units, which means this pierce armor of 6 is enough to mean they do only 1 damage each for each volley. So 25, 2 entire volleys needed to kill this mangonel. That being said, oh, he tries to predict that the Viper is going to move towards him. Instead, the Viper moves away with these composite bowmen. And the Viper, 47 seconds away from Imperial, finally has villagers in the triple digits. Oh, look at this. I'm happy that our Tatar has not given up, and neither has the Viper on these free sources of food, but Steppe Lancers doesn't see them. Line of sight, not that great. Remember, it's the cav archers of the Tatars that come with extra line of sight, just like the infantry of the Armenians come with extra line of sight. So a bit of an interesting, like I said, bizarro world. The Viper not playing in yellow, Dark playing in yellow. I wonder if the Viper is going to take extra sweet revenge here. That was a good shot. That was a good shot. Look at their HP now. Down, what, 40%? But another castle is going up. Viper, we know what happens when a pro player hits Imperial first. Trebs, 2 of them already being trained. So he is doing a good job repelling these archers to the south. But there is a contingent to the north as well. So the Viper's got 40 composite bowmen. Ooh, look what our Tatar is starting to mix in here. I don't know that this is the way to go. I mean, they come with you can upgrade them to have extra armor, but they're not Magyars with extra range and attack. They are just gonna melt against composite bowmen. Their range is the same, a base of a 4. And now these guys are fully upgraded to 7 range, and the castle is under attack, by the way, from the high ground, which means it is gonna fall. Maybe not this volley, but the volley. Okay, this volley. Definitely the volley after that, if not that. Even without ignoring armor, 39 composite bowmen doing 1 damage a shot managed to get rid of that ram. And he's going heavy cav archers. Oh, Feriders. What infantry does he have? He's training warrior priests. Okay, not terrible. He does have a whole bunch of these fortified churches. He's getting upgrades for them as well. Remember, they benefit from all the monk upgrades. Well, I shouldn't say all the monk upgrades. Elite composite bowmen. Take a look what happens when they go elite. Nothing really changes. Their armor, I believe, improves, and they have 5 extra HP. Aside from that, I don't think anything improves about them. Where are these warrior priests? He's got 15 of them. Honestly, I don't think he needs 15 of these guys. I think he just keeps pumping out composite bowmen. So far, no one's found a good solution to them in practice. Now, in theory, everyone's got ideas, just like me, just like yours truly. More HP, more range, but in practice, I don't think anyone's managed to beat these guys yet, at least in the games that I've seen. Trebs everywhere, laying siege to this Tatar settlement. House goes down. The Treb is naked and exposed. Castle still standing, but he's running low on stone, only 200. No. You need every unit at your disposal to go after these composite bowmen. Oh, dark, this. Oh, I don't know that this is the right move. I do not know if this is the right move. I mean, the Viper's economy is not the greatest. I was gonna say Dark is housed again, but he is housed at 200 population, which means this is the time for him to get going. Might want to get rid of this castle before he engages with these cav archers, because again, look, they have the same range. And by the way, take a look at the armor on these warrior priests at this point. 3 armor against the 11 attack, and they've got 125 HP with Feriders. Isn't that insane? Plus 15 HP from the monastery, plus 30 HP from the castle. And they're focusing on the warrior priest, which is exactly what the Viper wanted, as his composite bowmen just slaughter these guys. Oh my god, now the numbers are just not there for our Tatar. Oh god, what a slaughter. Okay, I like the move out of Dark here, moving. Oh, no, go get a shot off. Where the hell are you going? Oh, you are going to GG Town. That's where you're going. Wow, I like the move from Dark of sending that ram, but by the time that ram moved forward, his cav archer count was just nullified. And yet again, we find ourselves in the position, hands stretched to the sky, imploring the Age of Empires gods to send us a vision of what the hell can stop these Armenian composite bowmen. Anything less than a patch change, a nerf. I don't know. I mean, their attack again is a very, very weak attack in terms of a base of a 4. Maybe get rid of an upgrade, maybe get rid of HP, maybe get rid of range, maybe get rid of something. I don't know what the hell the developers are going to do to address this unit. Looks like Dark's raiding here to the back netted him a good amount of village. Actually, no, that's 18 total kills, only 6 villagers. Looks like the rest of his units died all over the place. But the real story, the continuing story of Age of Empires, and okay, Dark did finally manage to get this castle down. I was wondering why he engaged before he got this castle down. What do? You need quantity or you need quality. Either you surround these guys with a whole bunch of light cavalry units like Dark has, and by the way, he could train 30 more if he wanted to. I don't know, he died with a lot of food in the bank. And then you cut them down with the cav archers. But I honestly don't know what the Tatars here can do except heavy on the siege, which, I mean, he could have gone. I don't know why he didn't continue producing more onagers. Onagers at the very least would make the Viper hesitate before engaging into the fight, into the base. When you see this unit, imagine you saw 2 or 3 of these units coming from multiple angles. You would not be standing here cock of the walk in the middle of this farming community. You would be back here next to your castle. You would not be jeopardizing risking those units until you could take a favorable engagement. And at this point, I mean, he did the exact opposite because there's nothing to stop these guys. How powerful is this unit? These guys just not getting the damage done. And even though, oh, look at this, he's starting a farming community on the other side of the river, it is ultimately these composite bowmen who yet again prove themselves so powerful. And again, not the greatest amount of kills. I mean, 16 cav archers most likely, and then 22 villagers is pretty damn good. But for 31 units, 38 kills, I guess for an archer unit, it's not terrible. For a melee unit, it's definitely not great. 34 cav archers, 59 composite bowmen, hero level, PKPM right at the end of the game. PKPM also, actually, no, in the middle of the game for our Armenian economy. Look at how identical it was. Relic gold, about 15, actually exactly 1,500 relics. Oh my God, exactly 1,500 gold more. Precious resources going to our Armenian, trash resources going to our Tatar. 3 conversions out of an army of 118 is not great, about 2%. But kill count here, 151 kills for our Tatar, 136 kills for our Armenian. And this was just an absolute, such a fun map. I would love to see Armenians taking on the Georgians, or let's put it like this, any combination of the following: Mongols, Goths, Tatar, Georgians, or Armenians. Or if I'm forgetting one, because, you know, oh my God, by the way, yeah, let me finish my thought. If I'm forgetting one because, you know, I'm doing this right on the spot, if there's any other civ that I'm forgetting that comes with a hunting bonus, look at this, 5. I mean, this is about as secure a location as you could possibly get. Now, remember, they don't fire arrows when they're ungarrisoned. They're not creposts or anything like that. Or, but when they have a relic inside, 1 arrow plus villagers very quickly can run and garrison inside. But ultimately, again, what the hell can stop them? I don't know what to do about this unit. So far, I from the very beginning, we were wondering how powerful is it going to be. I originally said it's going to be a support unit because, again, the stats on paper seem to be support unit stats. A weak attack, not the greatest pierce armor. Range is okay, but it's a 7. HP is kind of middle of the road for an archer unit. Attack speed, this might need to be changed. It might need to go skirmisher level attack speed instead of 2-second delay, a 3-second delay, because right now it is just wrecking every single archer unit that's being thrown at it. And like I said, aside from maybe the Britain longbow or any other unit that has a higher range, any archer unit that has a bigger range, I don't know what it really can take this on, but what I don't know could fill the sea. And I am very excited to keep watching and casting games with these new civilizations just to see how powerful they are. Just like when the Romans came out and everyone was doing rushes of infantry. Let's see who comes up with the counter to this badass unit, this caped crusader. No, he's not Batman. Oh, look at what a good ending animation this is. Cape fluttering in the wind, bow and arrow held high, ready to aim at, I guess, the mangonel. And with the aim, with the warrior priest who made a bit of a late appearance. Not exactly the most effective unit in the game. This particular game, I mean, it is the Viper, our Armenian, who takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.